Uninformed immigrants are at a huge disadvantage in court, in financial and legal matters, and also sometimes in life. Well, what can we do about it? I'll tell you what. We can train, teach, inspire, and empower immigrants to maximize their lives regardless of their immigration status. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. I am your immigration lawyer and host, Otis Landerholm, and this is the Empowered Immigrant Podcast. All right, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Empowered Immigrant Podcast. I'm Otis Landerholm. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I've got an interesting just thing that I've been thinking about. This weekend, my son and I watched the keynote address by Mark Zuckerberg, where he announced his change of Facebook to call the company the name Meta, all right? And he introduces what he sees as the future of the internet. And really, he's talking about virtual reality and augmented reality and more. Did you see it? What did you think about it? And me, I'm pretty excited about it, just seeing it. I'm like, wow, how can I as like a law firm owner, an immigration lawyer, how can I stay relevant in that world, right? I am fairly skeptical as to whether or not the virtual and augmented realities can be much of a substitute for the real thing, right? And but it's like so amazing, right? What the advances in technology in our lifetimes is just it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. And the idea that we could put on glasses or put on a headset and now have the experience, right? That we are maybe, I don't know, at a concert, or maybe doing something else, or maybe, in the future, I'm like, okay, maybe I could be working in my house and put on this like virtual reality headset and then just be in my office, right? Virtually, and meet potential clients, do a consultation, explain immigration law, conduct our services, but maybe not even needing a physical office, just having a virtual, like, meet me in the metaverse immigration office. I mean, that's a long ways in the future, but it's like, okay, part of the idea is, hey, we can see where the technology is going, and how do we stay on top of it, or how do we embrace it and not kind of be repulsed by it? And because it's going to happen whether we want it to or not, really. You can't really fight a tidal wave, right? It's like this is happening, and so how can we take advantage of it, or how can we use it for the benefit of all people? And also, as an immigration lawyer, these headsets and the idea that now putting it on, we can suddenly take it and go explore a new country, right? And we can certainly meet new people socially through social interactions. I still think that, me as an immigration lawyer, I still want to encourage people to travel in the real world and to meet new people in the real world, to explore new places in actual reality, not just wearing a virtual reality headset, right? Like, there's one thing about going to Paris and seeing the Eiffel Tower, and with a headset on, maybe you could get those visuals pretty well duplicated, all right, through a headset. But I still wonder, you'd miss the experience of having to navigate your way through the streets of Paris, or through Paris's subway system, like figuring out where to go, even through speaking in broken French and having to ask people for help when you get lost, like all of that is part of the amazing experience of real travel. Not to mention the connection with random people as you do all that. And Paris is like an easy and iconic example, right? But what about little villages that never get the cameras in them that can support the metaverse technologically? What about small villages in China? When I was in China, my best experience was going to a small rural village where the blanket that I used it when I was sleeping, was made from wool shaved off the back of like that sheep right there outside the window. And experiences like that, when you're in like a rural and not developed parts of the world, they're going to be difficult to mimic. I mean, how could you change that type of experience on a virtual reality headset, right? In other words, the whole idea of literally traveling to a new place, right? Not just to discover that new place, but also to discover yourself, to put yourself into a new and challenging circumstance and to grow through it. That's the piece of it that is empowering. And that's what makes immigrants so awesome. They have actually gone through a process of assimilating into a new country, a new society with new rules and everything else, all right? And it's an empowering thing to do that. It brings confidence for people who do that. And that's certainly what I got from my years of travel. It's like I discovered who I am. I grew in confidence. And my question is, hey, could we really just do that by putting on a virtual reality headset? Maybe. We'll see. I sometimes I doubt it. And what I'll leave you with is I'm excited for the new technology, yes. And I still want people to explore reality, like the real thing, to the fullest. And in my opinion, travel is important and exploring is important. And as an immigration lawyer, I'm here to fight for people's right to travel where they want to, not just in Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse, but actually in reality. So that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you so much for being with me. What do you think about the metaverse? All right, it's pretty exciting, right? I definitely think it's exciting, but go travel in reality. All right, that's all I got to say. Thank you so much. I'm Otis Landerholm. We'll see you on the next episode of the Empowered Immigrant Podcast. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Empowered Immigrant Podcast. If you like what you heard and if you want to learn more, please go to landerholmimmigration.com/podcast.